on my computer, and so we will have this series of videos for anyone who would like to see it again, and it's on our website. Please, there's many of them on there that are wonderful, so please make sure you take a check at those. Maybe Samantha will put the link in the chat for us. And later on, you can check it out. So thank you, Doctor. And
okay,
welcome.
thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. First, I would like to thank Dr. Ziegler and the Educational Technology Department members at NJCU. Thank you for having me today and presenting the PBL, the Digital PBL webinar. And also, I want to thank all those who joined us today. Thank you for your time, to taking time out and being with us today. Just like Dr. Z said, we have open questions and answer, like Q&A, and also if you miss anything, don't worry. So it's being recorded, and Dr. Z will be more than happy to share with you an on-demand recording when it's available. And also, I want to remind you, so please share with us your feedback. We would love to hear from you. And if you have any comments and concerns, please share with us your feedback. Okay, so let me share my presentation with you. Okay, here it is. Okay, my view. I want to know if it is sharing. Oh.
Yes, it's sharing.
Exactly. Okay, good. Okay, so here I want to make sure what screen I am on this one. Is this a big screen you see?
Yes.
Okay, let me, 1 second. I just wanna make sure I have my one second. Okay, I want to share this. Okay, here it is. Okay, so today's webinar is about the digital PBL. And I would like, first of all, here's my information. If you need anything, you want to reach out to me, please feel free to email me at hayet.bensetti@gmail.com. And the objective of this, the main objective of this webinar is to help educators to use PBL for authentic and more engaging learning experience through the lesson they present. And for the structure of this webinar, I would like to, I put it in 4 sections. So first of all, I'll try to explain and distinguish PBLs from other PBLs. So you need to understand what is it exactly. And then we're gonna go over how now it's the best time to use PBL, especially in how it fits within the remote learning. Then I will guide you, the third step, I will guide you through the steps and the process of creating one. And at the end, I will turn it to you and give you the chance to create one using the template that I have for you. And if you have time to complete it, I will go over it with you and help you with that. At the beginning, I have a template, so I have the whole package for you. I will share it with you at the end, but I would like to share the template. Please make a copy of it right now. The template of putting the information while I'm going through the presentation. You may have an idea immediately, you can just put it on side, and that's your template that you're going to be using in the future. This is a template. I made a copy, so, and it's editable. You can edit it. Please, since it's a copy, everyone make a copy for themselves. So here's the link, and I'll try to put it in the chat. Do I have, can I? Yeah, and participant. Okay, I will put it with. Can I put a link in the chat?
You can drop the link in the chat if that's easiest for you, or you can always send it to me, and I can put it in there for you if that's easier as well.
Yeah.
So it depends on what is good for you, Hayet. We can make that work.
Okay, Samantha, here's the link. And please, it's a Google document. It's a template. Have it on the side while you have an idea there, so we can discuss it later on. And please make a copy because it's everybody's. It's one document. So, okay, we have that. And now we move into what is that? So what is a PBL? To succeed in the 21st century, students need more than, so we're not like content givers like we used to be. We have beyond the stage of being a facilitator. So the student need to build more than knowledge. They need to build confidence and skills to develop radical solutions to present future challenges. And that's what PBL comes in place. When you see on first time you hear PBL, what comes to your mind? Problem-based learning, performance-based learning, project-based learning, and there's a lot of definitions that are overlapping and they're being used interchangeably. Learning can be more interesting and effective by focusing students on work that matters. We live in a world of projects. We are actively trying to solve problems. So this is how applies to any classroom that when you want to present students with a challenge. This is actually a real life scenario. You present them with a challenge, with a problem, and let them run with it and design it, and design something new. So this is actually giving a student the tools. It's like you're giving them ingredients and they make them and ask them to create something awesome, something new and challenging. Give them the tools and to run with it. They're going to design, they're going to create and come up with something that's completely new. And that's actually the end goal of a PBL. When you start creating a PBL, you go straight to think, what is the end goal? You want them to create something new that was not there before or was not perceived without technology. So in other words, with PBL, teachers are going to put students on a path that deepen their knowledge and build skills they need in the future. For a more formal definition of PBL, which is problem-based learning from Bucky Institute of Education, you can tell it's a teaching method in which students gaining knowledge and skills by working for an extended period of time, investigate and respond to an authentic, engaging, and complex question, problem, or challenge. I want to draw your attention to the keywords here. Look at the keywords. My main keyword is gaining knowledge and skills. We're not talking about knowledge alone. It's coupled with skills. That's one. Second keyword is extended period of time. It's not one-day project. It's not a project after a lesson. It's the whole experience through a project. It's a learning experience through a project. It has to be extended through a period of time. And look at all the skills and the ability of students, what they're going to do, they're going to achieve. They're going to investigate. One, it's a research. Respond to an authentic, an engaging, and a complex question. Now you push the student to a higher level thinking. You are there investigating, doing research, they're responding and looking for something authentic, something engaging, is relevant to their lives, is relevant to their future. And a complex question, it's not an direct question, it has to be an open-ended question that makes the student think above and beyond. Now, since we're talking about digital PBL, I will tell you what's the little difference in between. The project-based learning is actually a hands-on inquiry and collaborative work between students, and it's originally is done in classroom, and by at the end they're going to go through a project, they go over it, and then they are going to present the final product at the end to an audience. In digital PBL, it's exactly the same thing. Its learning experience is the same as the original PBL, but it's done completely 100% digitally. It has the same component, and the only thing, the steps that are done in the original PBL is going to be, how you say, narrated, or they're going to reflect on digital resources instead of face-to-face resources. Then, I would like also to distinguish between the PBLs. I said you heard a lot of between the people that use PBL and PBL project-based learning and problem-based learning interchangeably, because they have the same acronym. They are used interchangeably. However, problem-based learning is a subset of a project-based learning. The problem is a subset. The project-based learning is the whole entire experience. So when it's actually, when you think about it, the two PBLs are really the two sides of the same coin. What type of PBL you decide to call, it just depends on how you frame it. It's, are you doing a lesson, and in the end you want to have a little project based on problem-based learning? That's a PBL, problem-based learning. But if you want to engage your students from the beginning to the end, into the entire experience through a big project with well-designed project, that's a PBL, which is a project-based learning. We would like to also know why we're using PBL and how it fits right now within the remote learning. Let's see what the researchers are saying. In the past, we thought we used, like teachers and educators, they used to teach and assess content, such as math, social studies, English, without content. With the PBL of the 21st century is different. So now we are more than content givers. We teach and assess content plus the 21st century skills, such as that include communication, collaboration, problem solving, and critical thinking. In other words, PBL approach creates a constructivist learning environment. They construct knowledge from themselves, doing research and trying to find out research and create something. They construct knowledge by themselves, just with guidance of and facilitation of the teacher. With the students, they construct actually their own knowledge. What else here? How the digital PBL also fits within with the remote learning? It fits because we're using digital resources all from A to Z. The discussion that comes usually, if you are in a face-to-face environment in a classroom, you do discussion in class with the teacher or student between, but you can facilitate that online. It's the discussion and workspaces are all online. The use of this project as all the resources, the materials are all used in the project, they're all stored in maybe a folder and a website. That's what I'm going to show you at the end. The package has a website that has links to everything, or you have only one page. It doesn't have to be an elaborated website. It could be just one slide, an interactive slide in Google Slide, and you can link it to anything. And that's also one place where you hold all your material regarding that project. So you have everyone will stay organized. Assessment also, what I love about it is, I'm talking from experience, what I love from the PBL is have given me the opportunity. I struggled in the beginning when we first transit to remote learning. It was hard to assess students. What are we going to do? Everybody is talking that students, they can cheat, they have open books. What type of assessment you can do? You can't give quizzes, you can't do tests, you can't. I found this very, very powerful tool to assess my students in all the areas that I wanted to. First of all, let's talk about my point of view as a foreign language teacher. If I teach one unit or a subunit, if I'm talking about arts, I was able in one project to assess them like I do an interpersonal. Let's say at the beginning I give them something to read, or it's part of the stimulus is a reading or a viewing or a video. It's an interpretive. That's an interpretive assessment. If I ask them to discuss and do collaboration and they do a shared document on Google Docs, that's an interpersonal assessment. And at the end, when they create the product and they share it with the world, even they share it with me, with their, it depends how big of an audience you want them to share with, that presentational tool. And that's actually the final product could be a powerful presentational assessment. And also how it fits, you give them independence. I mean, I feel so, as I struggled in the beginning, after this PBL, when I was able to create the website and now I did the Google slide, I feel less stressed, more relaxed, because I put the project and they have like sometimes some classes, I give them a week. It's a small project, a few days. Some students, they having 2 weeks. And my honored student, they having this major project about technology. I'll show you an example later on. It's taking them like almost 2-3 weeks. And it's awesome. They like it. They all engage. I love it. And I have less work. I'm just facilitating. I'm seeing what they're doing. I'm monitoring through Google Classroom. I see the steps that I set up in the beginning. I monitor them and I control. These are checkpoints. So you see what point are they at. And also keep in mind that PBL also supports universal design of learning. So it's inclusive. No one is exclusive because you give options and choices and voice to everyone to not only they choose the way they learn, that's one, and also they choose the way to demonstrate their knowledge, that's two. Having talked about the remote learning and how this PBL, on the research part, I was so empowered, and since we learned this in my doctoral program, and it's so exciting when I find out that that PBL is actually fits in the two higher level of the SAMR model. I don't know if you're familiar with the SAMR model. Is a tool to evaluate the technology used in education. Look how PBL directly fits, I'm literally saying directly fits within the M and the R in the modification and the redefinition of SAMR model, which is the highest level of SAMR model, which called the transformation. We're not just doing enhancement to our teaching, we are completely doing the transformation of our teaching. How is why I'm saying it's literally in the highest, which is redefinition, because redefinition is, like you can see here, it's redefining a task completely. I'm redefining a traditional task in the way that would not be possible without technology. Students, they're gonna create something. They may did like an essay. They used to do an essay maybe for social study or English. Now with the technology, if they create a video, they do something. They created something new. You give them the chance and the tools to create something new that was not possible without technology. It's kind of creating a novel experience with this tool. Now, also there's 4 wins I heard from social media and a lot of online communities. They're sharing those wins, people who use the PBL. Everybody, they're very happy about it because actually in the remote learning, we all use technology tools for presentation. They are exploding. You should see what on social media and online communities, educators, parents, and administrators are sharing all those new tools. It's crazy how they are all going through and sharing. Sometimes I'm like really overwhelmed. I have like more than 100 tools to present. Some of them I'm familiar with. I thought I'm familiar with all of them. I found out new ones every 2-3 days. They're like, oh my God, this is new. Let me try this. Let me try this. It's like awesome. If anyone is interested, I can share with this. Like really, really, you can get overwhelmed with this. Take it easy. The second win that everybody's happy with a PBL is giving students voices and choices. I heard that from administration, supervisors. They actually happy that we're giving our students choices and voices. They choose their path, they choose their way of learning, they choose their way of demonstrating knowledge. It's so powerful and also fits into the skills of 21st century. Also, as I said, hearing parents, they are really how much parents appreciate PBL. I heard and I've seen a lot of positive comments of parents about their kids who are challenging themselves with this project, showing independence work and also creativity, and most importantly, how they adapt to the change. At the beginning, it was like, moving to or transitioning to remote learning was kind of chaotic, and a lot of parents, they were frustrated and they don't know what to do. But when it's PBL, it's a project, and in extended time, they have time to go back to the teacher and they see the steps. The PBL is laid down it's the outline, the steps, the tools. There's no confusion. Parents, they know they can guide their kids to follow the steps of the project, the PBL. And lastly, the fourth win is how creating more opportunities for collaboration, which is really interesting. How making choices or choice of making their own group. It happened to me. I was able to I have two different classes, but there's two different sections, but it's the same class. And they asked me, can they work with the other class? They will not be able to do that if we're doing a face-to-face classes. And I said, yeah, why not? It's the same project, it's the same topic, even though they're in two different classes. I worked with, since it's a group project, it's going to be the same grade, and I have some components which is based on individual effort, but it's very powerful and I see them, they're excited, they choose their friends or group to work with from different class. Different section. It's the same level, grade level, it's same class, but a different section. And that actually increases student participation and engagement. Now, let's move to how to create a PBL. How are you going to create that? Some teachers use the PBL extensively as their primary curriculum of instruction method, which is made now. Other than that, other educators use PBL occasionally during the year. They may be familiar with it and they use it sometimes. A project also can vary in length. So you can have a project with a few days, you can have it more than a few weeks, or you can extend it to a month. And in college level, I've seen a PBL that's extended for the whole semester. And also can be effective of all grade level and subjects. You can tailor it to any grade level or any subject, as well as and also they can be compatible with any after-school activity, after-school programs or alternative programs. They can also use PBL. Here's the process. I showed you here. I want to show you two types. They're not different. It's the same type. One is simplified. I like to give the options. I know it became like second nature to me. I give you an option of a simplified version of the process and the full length of a process. The full length of process is right here. It shows you the path, has about 8 steps. Those 8 steps are in between. Now I summarize them here so you can just go ahead and use the template that I gave you with this. So this is the step. This is the steps. Before I go to one, look what I have in the middle. I have a driving question. Your project is revolved around 8 driving questions. That's the core of your PBL. You start your PBL with, you launch the project. So I'll tell my student, we're going to start a project. Since I'm teaching art unit, project has to be about art. But art could be anything, has to do with a lot of details. But my driving question will narrow down the focus of what I want my student to achieve at the end. So I will start, my first step is to start the project. I will start with an entry event. These entry events, or the entry event, could be a stimulus. In other research, they call it stimulus. The stimulus could be anything. If you're doing face-to-face, it could be a guest speaker. It could be an event happened. And now, since I'm doing it digitally, videos of the perfect or news or an article are really good, perfect examples of stimulus. And also in your package, you will have a list of stimulus to choose from, so you can just populate it and use it. That's for the first step. Now you incite student curiosity. They want to know what is that, what's the problem, and how they gonna do that. So you attract their attention to a specific project and a driving question. Tell them what they're going to do to answer that big question. Similar to a research, when you have a research question and everything goes around the research question, it's very similar to that. The logic goes behind like a higher level thinking on a smaller scale. The second move is building knowledge and skills. This is your job. This is what actually you want to teach. That's your teaching strategies. You want them to know. What do you want them to know? So you already told them, here's the topic, here's the driving question. We want to know. I'm going to give you an example of driving question, and so you can apply it on all those steps. And then you want them to know how to develop. I know if you're doing social studies, you're doing English, maybe you want them how to defend an argument. That's what you want them to do. That's what you final product should be also. That's the skills you need to want them to practice, to learn about it and practice and master it. At the same time, not only the knowledge, you need them also to practice some 21st century skills. You need them to collaborate with others. You need them to share ideas. You need them to discuss and question. Good things, you should include questions, except the driving question, they should have their own small question. There are surrounding questions, the small question that fits under the umbrella of driving questions. Once they are, the step 2 and step 3, you can go back and forth. Look, and I have this arrow saying revision, because once they learn the skills and they learn them, they build the knowledge, you want them to produce or create a product, the final product. So for me, when I design the PBL, I go straight to the product. What do I want them to create? I want them to come up with something. You know, I give you an example for my art unit. When I tell you, I want them to design, to create a painting relevant to Impressionism, and they have to discuss it or present it to the world. So that's my product. I want them to. I don't care the way how they do it. They can paint it, I take a picture, they can use it digitally. As long as it reflects Impressionism, that's a final product for me. And then while they're doing this, I'm assessing their skills. I'm assessing their knowledge. Do they follow the art movement techniques? Are they reflecting, you know, how the art reflect feelings? You know, they can refer to the information that's been given in advance. Then once they create the product, they present it, and that's the final product, is the presentation. After they create the final product, they present it. They present the that final product with any tool they choose. If they have no idea, you can give them a set of tools. Here you can do that. You can have you know, an infogram. You can, you know, a report. You can do a drawing. You can have a movie. You can create even a Quizlet. They can, of course, they can actually create an exam. They can create a test, a Quizlet or quizzes. While they're creating the questions, actually they're learning. They are showing and demonstrating knowledge. Back to the driving question, I can't emphasize enough how driving question is very important. So keep in mind to keep that driving question open-ended. So I'm giving you an example how in traditional question, a direct question could be, and how an open-ended question could be. A perfect example, like now that I'm using it, is of a driving question that trigger a lot of information, a lot of higher level thinking is, how should we respond to a pandemic? That project could integrate social studies, math, and science in the creation of a multimedia project analyzing the response of a world leader to the COVID-19 pandemic. They can formulate a response to a future pandemic for a local community. They can also develop and predict of possible challenges. It's like a lot of possibility you can go and ask students to do. There's endless possibilities. This is very similar to the steps, but this is a more intense, a more elaborated version of the steps. It's very similar. I combined in the graph, the previous graphs, I combined 2 in each. So significant content, this is what you want to teach. The same thing with creating an entry event, which is called the stimulus. And as I said, stimulus could be any scenarios, like such a video could be. That's one step. Don't forget the driving question is the core of your PBL. The driving question, please keep in mind to be provocative, open-ended, complex, and linked to what you want them to learn. That has to be relevant. Student choice and voice, they can take any route to acquire knowledge, and they may use any tools to demonstrate knowledge. And also, at this point, for this point, I am sharing with you choice boards. So I have example for choice boards that you can share with students to give them ample choices to choose from to demonstrate their knowledge. Incorporate the 21st century skills. As I said, it's a must. It's part of the process. It's collaboration, communication, and critical thinking, and the use of technology, of course. Inquiry. The whole thing is around the inquiry. Then they're going to come up with some innovation, and they come up with a new answer with a new product to the solution of the problem. And in your part, you are going to give feedback and revision with the rubric. So the rubric is just to guide them. Keep the rubric. I will keep it to the 1-point rubric to give room to students to be creative. Don't make it like very rigid. Flexible rubrics are very good for PBLs to monitor what they're doing, and also give chance also to have feedback from their peers. Peer feedback is also powerful in the revision part. So at the end, publicly present the product, as I said, is the sharing of the product. Is any way they could share the product. Yes. And just I want to share with you, this is from PBL Works by Buck Institute of Education. They have created a comprehensive research-informed model of a PBL to help teachers, schools, and organizations to measure and calibrate and improve their practice. So with these 7 essential project design elements, they are called Gold Standard PBL. Projects are focused on students acquiring key knowledge and understanding and success skills. So these are there, and you can find them in the PBL Works website, and I gave you the link at the end of the presentation. Please keep in mind those. I try to put a set of advice to keep in mind when you create a PBL. When you create a PBL, please start small. If you're doing this for the first time, start small with a tiny project, like a subunit. If you're doing a thematic unit, go with a subunit that may take few days of the week. If you're doing an AD schedule, you may have 2 days in the week. That's perfect. I will start giving them maybe a Friday, so the first one day, Monday or Tuesday, or you do it another day if you have only 2 days. 2 days could be enough to finish a small PBL. start with standards. So logically, when you see the template I gave you, start with the standards. What are you teaching? What is your unit? What you need to cover? What is your standards in your content area? For us, we're using actual standards. So I go to the actual standards that fits my art unit, and that's the one. And please choose the one that would allow for more in-depth inquiry over the coverage. That's a key. So there's more than one standard, and I look for the one that will give my student more in-depth inquiry. And also, of course, this is no-brainer. You need to plan ahead. It doesn't mean like months ahead. I will plan for next year. Now I become more very comfortable with PBL. I'm going to continue doing this for next year. All my lessons, they're going to be a big PBL project. And since students, they like it, everybody's comfortable with it, and I give me all the tools to assess them. I'm very pleased with the PBL and the outcomes of PBL. If you see that I highlight something in red, that's my trick. Begin with the end in mind. Your final product should be your first step. So it's kind of like you doing the backward design. It works backwards to have a well-developed project ready for the classroom. Go from the end. What do you want them to create? What do you want them to come up with? And then build your template from the product. Know the difference between PBL and the project. So you know that PBL is the project itself. The project itself is the learning, and you are teaching through the project, but not teaching and then doing the project. So you got to be careful. Which one are you doing? Are you doing a project or are you doing a PBL? And also, I will advise you to work to collaborate with other teachers, to keep in mind, and you always have fresh idea. And also, I would like to use cross-discipline, use math, use social studies to collaborate with others. It's more meaningful to students. Now it's your turn. I think I gave you enough information. Use these tools to create your own PBL. You can see my example. This is my website. I don't know if I can click here. You can see it. Okay. Can you see it? Okay, cool. Let me make this bigger. I don't know. Yeah, so here it is. This is a my PBL learner, so you can go from here. I have, let's make it bigger. So this is my PBL project. Let me move this here quickly. So here's what I do. If you go down, I have projects for my 4 honors, I have projects for my 3 honors, and I have projects for my 3 1, they're not honors. So each one is only one page. This is not a big website or paid website. Everyone has a Google. You can go to site, create your own website, very easy. 1-page website, even couple pages website. It's not a big deal. So you create website, it's linked. I have my project for, this is this unit. I have it by thematic unit. I have science and technology for the first one. This is what they finished this project now, and they're doing more research on that. This is for the 5G and the COVID-15 conspiracy theory. So as you can see, the language is in French because this is a higher level. This is honor student. I definitely start with my question, my guiding question, which is more it's an open-ended question. I have a stimulus, which is a listening. I have that goes with an understanding question. I have a reading with a comprehension. Then this is student work. So this is my stimulus. This is introduction to the scenario. This is the stimulus, 2 of them, and I have their work. So if you can see, I have one day they're going to do a collaborative. They're going to create a Google Classroom with their groups, and they brainstorm, discuss, and share ideas in Google about the topic. That's already my one assessment. That's my interpersonal they're doing on an activity. They can create a presentation to share with the class in Google Classroom, so everyone has access to the presentation, so it's shareable. And then I want them to debate. That's a conspiracy theory. So a lot of people are against, are not against. I mean, a lot of people are, they see the point. Some people, they say that that's not true. There's a lot of true and false and gray area. It's very interesting topic for debate. So the debate was actually on orally, on Flipgrid. You see everyone had their point, and I had 2 students to comment on what they think other students said. So that's about the PBL project. Let me go back here. So this is about the science. I did the same thing with the French for they doing art unit, and the other one they doing a music unit. That's for the website. For those who are not familiar with the website or they feel intimidated for website, this is this is a very easy to copy. Even if you don't have, I give you permission to copy mine, edit it, change it, do whatever you want. Here's my, and you have a copy in the package anyway, in the participant package. This is my virtual classroom PBL project. Let me try to show it if I can see it big so you can see it. So this classroom, I have my project. This is the Impressionism movement. I have my event. This is my entry. This is the steps. So all my stimulus are here. They can just go. These are clickable. They go and they find the video. They find the YouTube. They found the virtual tour. Has a lot of technology involved. Then it's aligned to my actual standards. So I know what to put in my lesson plan. And I have a driving question. That's what everybody needs to look at. My driving question is, what can art tell us about ourselves? From the examples of Monet and Van Gogh. So all those stimulus has to do with Monet and Van Gogh. They're gonna know about it. They're gonna see how Van Gogh was, all his paintings are connected to his emotional state. And then they're gonna research and collaborate, and they're gonna use Google Classroom. All these icons here that I have, they are clickable. You click on them. You don't have to create those links in the website. Use this to direct them to collaborate and go to the classroom, discuss maybe in Flipgrid, find the information on this website, create a movie on iMovie. This is an interactive website. You can do something on Edpuzzle. You can find a video on YouTube. And then you demonstrate your learning and create whatever is the final product using any of those tools, any presentational tool. You can create a video on YouTube. You can create a video also on iMovie. You can debate or speak or write using Flipgrid. So this is, and you can change it. There's so many other virtual classrooms out there. Feel free, I can show you. If you don't like mine, I can show you how to create it. Very simple. I don't want to take too much time today to show you this, but it's very convenient. Feel free to use mine, change it, or do whatever you want to do. And also, here's the package for you. I'm gonna just leave it here. So you have my virtual classroom. This is the most important one. Please use this copy. This is your lesson. This is your planner. This is how you do step by step. It's color coded. Each step is good. So you start with the stimulus. You have your learning goals. You have your calendar. You have your steps. You have the lessons. You have everything. This is the choice board that you can use. Example. I'm giving you example of a 5th grade to copy. And I'm giving you a planner, a detailed planner if you want to use. This is from PBL Works. They have their own version. I'm showing you how sample project assessment, how you assess all the details. And also these are the stimulus, a list of stimulus and products so you can use from. And also I'm showing you all the elements of the learning. This is all for you to use for future project. With this, I would say thank you, everyone, for your attention, for your time. I really appreciate you listening, and I'm sorry if I was going crazy and rushing. And thank you for listening. And back to you, Dr. Z.
Wow, that was a lot, and it was wonderful. Thank you so much, and thank you for being so kind and sharing. with everyone, with all of the resources and allowing people to use what you've created. Greatly appreciate it. Some questions that were in the chat. We only have a couple of minutes, but I wanted to see. One person says, do you use a problem-based lesson to begin a unit or after you've already taught them everything? How would you mostly use it?
Yes, not after. That's going to be a project. If you do it after you teach the lesson, that's a project. That's not a PBL. You teach the lesson through PBL. Actually, in the beginning of the lesson, when I want to teach art unit of technology, that's my beginning. I just thought, like you thought, you have a hook to start a lesson. That's your stimulus. That's the first step of the project, and you go through it and follow the steps until the end. It's a learning process.
Okay, so we've also had people asking about the resources. We're posting a link in the chat for the webinar, and let's see, we'll try to post it again. If you don't see it there, by probably tomorrow, we'll have it up on the NJCU, almost definitely tomorrow, and Samantha does that work for me. We'll put that up on the website, not only this video, but also the link to all of the things that she shared. So you'll be able to access it by tomorrow on our website, in addition to if you can get to it in the chat here.
Absolutely. So all this PBL package is free for use. Some of them is licensed from PBL Works, and it's free for educators. The rest is my own creation, and I'll give you permission to use it and modify it.
Excellent, excellent. Do you know there's another tool that I was just in, I don't know if you've seen Mural. Have you seen Mural yet?
Yes, yes.
That's another new
so
tool.
many. Excellent. I love it.
Yeah,
I'm like, I get it all. Yes.
I like it because you can collaborate in real time. It's sort of a mashup between Zoom and Google Classroom, you know, Google Forms, Google Docs.
I love it. Yes.
Kind of a mashup.
That's going to be the next big thing.
I think so too. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's just something I just got familiar with, everyone. Anyway, so everything will be posted up there. It is just a couple of minutes before. Are there any other questions from anyone? You can unmute yourself or put it in the chat, however you'd like. Here's a question. Any suggestions for quick PBL resources? I'm a specialist that is only posting 15-minute lessons per week for elementary grades 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Are there any particular websites that you go to for resources?
Yes, there's two, and it's actually, did I show you here on the link? Hold on one second. Yes, in the references, these are two at the end. I don't know if you can see them. The PBL project. It's one and need a district login, or maybe you can ask for a login. And also the other one is free. It's PBL Works. PBL Works. These are the two main projects, and there are especially the PBL project is designed and grouped by grade level and by content area. It's awesome. Check out those two websites. It's called the PBL project. The other one is PBL Works. You can create a free account, both of them. PBL project sometimes, or I use it from the district because we have a login from the district to all those awesome projects. They have a lot of examples and actually to share with educators for use. Great.
Well, thank you so much again for all that you've shared with us. We so greatly appreciate it. And I think this is the end of our webinar series currently. So you've finished us off with a bang. We may have others in the future, but thank you so much again. And thank you to everyone for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Z.
Thank you, Hayet. Good job.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.